What we're doing today. Here is the rear differential. You can see that leak right there. I think that thing has leaked as long as I've had it. Today's the day we're going to change it out. I've been putting it off for a while, but I finally bought the new gasket and the gear oil. So we're about to change this thing out today. So should be loads of fun. Wanted to give you a little better view of the differential cover there, so you can see oil drip, and there's of course a lot of as it spills out, it runs over. You can see that staining of the oil there on that rear axle. So we're going to take off all of these bolts with a 13 millimeter. I do have the seal in the gear oil, so I have my oil catcher because we can drain out this oil. I can't remember the exact amount. I think it's I want to say maybe it was close to 3/4 of gear oil that's in there. So we're going to collect that in our oil collector right there. You can see that it looks like maybe they made their own gasket, which is going to make it a little bit harder for me to pop off, but how it you can see it where the bolts go, and then that extra sealing. So I'm going to end up trying to use a plastic putty knife to get in there because you don't want to mess up the metal, but might take a little bit of work to pry that gasket loose. So you'll see I did have to bring out a little screwdriver with the homemade seal. So maybe there was a leak before, so I had to kind of break that free. But we do have it broken free with some oil leaking. Hopefully it's all in good condition once I pop the cover off, but we'll see that in a minute. There we go, we got the cover off. We're going to clean all of that up. A little brake cleaner. Not a lot of oil came out of there, so it was probably a good reason, good for me to go ahead and do this today. Not a lot of oil coming out of that thing, which means it wasn't getting a lot. But you can see that is your rear differential. Here's a little look. I need to do some more cleaning on that edge. You can see that gasket material that they used is still in there, and I need to clean that up really good. All the gears and everything are looking pretty good. Needs a good clean. And then we're gonna transition real quick to into the cover. I've got that all cleaned up. You can see that's in really good shape. I'll probably scrub it down one more time, but in pretty good shape. And then there's the mess of it all. All right, everything's been cleaned up. I've popped the cover off to add new oil. I do have the gasket back there. I probably should have shown you that to begin with. It is in the proper position. Let me see if I can move this light a little bit to see. That's probably a little corroded. I'll have to mess with that later. I don't want to get any of that in there. I'll probably just wipe that down to get some of that off. And now to get some oil in there. I haven't looked at the best method to pour oil that direction. A funnel, but I won't be able to turn the oil container, so should be fun, but we're going to get it figured out. So we're here. Here's the funnel, and I can get the funnel in there, but if you can see that that's a odd angle, so I need some sort of hose to attach to the funnel to run that oil in there, because if I pour oil in there, it's just going to come out this other way. There's no way to do that, so I've got to see if I have some sort of plastic tubing somewhere to run oil back into this differential and hope it doesn't leak. Very messy, and I need tubing. I ended up running a funnel and just squishing it really hard, pouring the oil into a cup into the funnel, and so it made a mess. I wiped everything down. I need to wipe just a little bit more down just so that I can watch for leaks in the future. But right now I'm cleaning everything up. I'll give this one more wipe down, do my test drive, and look for any leaks, and if it leaks, I'll probably be in very bad mood. All right, we're back. Everything's put back together. Test drive is done. I'm not seeing any new leaks. I am going to dry it off one more time, because what you can see in there is from earlier. I didn't wipe down, so I got a new cloth to wipe it. So far so good. I'm not seeing oil leaking at the bottom, and that's the main issue. Let's see if I can get a better view. So I'm very happy thus far. Like I said, I'll dry this area off one more time, but that oil was from earlier. So, good day thus far. There is something rattling under here, but I don't know where, and I'll have to do that on a different day. As you can see, it was a busy weekend. Changing out the gasket on that rear differential, that took me a few hours, a little bit longer than I had planned. However, I'd never done that before, so it's part of the learning experience. That was on Saturday, and then on Monday we had another car start having some problems, and so I ended up having to change out a battery on a Volkswagen Jetta. They say Volkswagens are considered luxury cars, or so the battery that was in there wasn't powerful enough, especially with the newer the start-stop technology. So the battery gave up its life much quicker than planned, so I had to run out and change out that battery yesterday. So it's good old December and Christmas time, good car expense time. However, I was able to do the brakes, that leaking gasket, and the battery, and do all that on my own, and save some money being able to do that. And then today, and in that same time, I've been really good with my gym time. I think I did shoulders. No, I did legs on Saturday, and then did car maintenance all afternoon. Monday I did chest and triceps. Got that in, got the cardio in. Today I'm a little bit later. I had something to do super early this morning, so I did that. So I'm running to the gym a little later in the morning than I would normally. And I'm probably going to do shoulders and cardio and get cleaned up again. But it's a decent day of work ahead. Good few days of saving some money, doing some car maintenance. I do enjoy doing that, despite my earlier protestations. So it was good to get nothing better than get something working that was not working before. Seeing those end results are super important. And speaking of end results, New year, new me. Food is not locked in yet, but we're going to try to keep making better decisions to tally that. Every day's a new day, so we'll get that nutrition locked in. So it's bound to be a very hard workout, because in the absence of good nutrition, punish your body with some work. So that's what we're going to do today. And as an update, despite I was able to, I think I must have checked that differential on my truck at least 8 different times to see if there's an oil leak, looking on the ground, getting the flashlight, looking under there to see, just to make sure. I just have this phobia of it not being done correctly, but no leaks, so that's good. And I'm very happy with that. My only hiccup on the rear differential is I realized after the fact that I put the wrong viscosity gear oil in there. It'll work fine, but it is a 4-wheel drive, and it should have I don't even know if it's the right terminology, but the number's higher, so I think that's the viscosity. A thicker gear oil in there, but I can only count on one hand the number of times I've used 4-wheel drive in the truck, so I'm not overly concerned about it. But now I do know that I can just change that out and put the right oil in there. But I'm going to use this oil, let this oil do its work and get some use out of it before I pump that out and pump the new in. You saw I had some, I'm not sure what video clips I have recorded because I was more focused on working, but I tried to get a few. I had some problems getting that gear oil in the differential, and I have a pump that will do a better job than what I did. That is in my cart at Amazon, so I'll probably order that, and that'll make it easier to drain out that old oil and put the new oil in if I feel so led to change that out. But like I said, I'm not concerned with it. I could be wrong, maybe it needs it, but I just, in my mind, if it needs the thicker oil for the 4-wheel drive, but I'm not going to use 4-wheel drive, maybe it's not going to be as important to have that better oil. But we always try to choose to see the good. It's got oil in it and it's not leaking, so there's the positive side to that. So we'll see, but no leaks, and that's the most important thing. All right, got that workout done. Thought the treadmill would never end. So good shoulder day, good work. A little bit warmer now, but got to get the sweat on. So I mentioned earlier that I started earlier this morning. So sometimes when my day starts earlier than I routinely plan, I'm considering my food and drink. And so usually, I showed you guys in another video, my usual pre-workout drink has caffeine in it to help with some energy. But this morning, since I wasn't working out first, I still wanted the caffeine, and I'm not a coffee drinker. I do drink, I can drink it, but I'm gonna load that joker up with sugar and creamer, and I try not to do that if possible. So I've stayed away from coffee for quite some time, but so I do try to, when I'm trying to decide what to drink, and keep that caffeine content maybe a little bit lower, that way I can sleep at night. One of the things I like is the reason I don't consume a bunch of them are the smaller energy drink cans. My thought process is they're the same price as the full size, so I might as well get the bigger can for the money that I'm paying. But in a jam, or maybe I'm not going to work out, or I don't need as much caffeine maybe to power me through a workout, I may consume bum energy drinks. This is blue snow cone. I like this flavor. He has a cola and like a Dr. Bomb. That's the takeoff of Dr. Pepper. Cream soda is the newest one, and it's really good, but hard to find locally without having to order it. So I do like this, and this is one of these is the equivalent of a 12-ounce coffee. So it has about, I think it said it was 112 milligrams of caffeine, so it's a little bit lighter on caffeine. And I'm sharing it because maybe one day, you know, somebody will at one of these companies will say, hey, that's cool, let's send more to this guy so he can talk about them some more. Always looking for those free things. But this Bum Energies from Chris Bumstead, his former, I believe he was a 6-time Mr. Olympian with a supplement brand. I like the energy drinks. I like these because they are smaller caffeine, so I knew I wasn't going to work out within a few hours, so I didn't need the energy. These also have what's called cognizin in it, and that kind of helps with memory, mental allergies, mental alertness, kind of help you focus a little bit, which is always a good thing to chemically enhance all of those things to bring you back on task. But I like the blue snow cone. I think they have a cherry frost. I don't like that as much, but blue snow cone is my jam. It's a good flavor. So I had that this morning. So I probably, I'm still several hours away from any more consumption of caffeine. And I'll probably drink something else maybe after lunchtime. I have something to do this evening, so I got plenty of activity to help burn through some of that caffeine, so I'm not awake too much later. But it was a good workout, good shoulders. Still kind of getting sore from my chest day yesterday, and even though they say you shouldn't gauge your workouts in soreness, I love to feel sore after a workout because then I know I've hit the muscles. But I don't want to be too sore because then I don't want to be thinking about it all day long. So if you have the chance and you don't want to drink coffee, Bum Energy, it's a good alternative, a fun little drink to have to kind of get you through some of those rough times of attentiveness. So give it a try and let me know what you think. Like I said, the pricing is the hard part for me because I'm reluctant. I would really like the cream soda, and I think they have a pina colada flavor that I would really like to try, but I can't find it locally, so I would have to order a case. And if I'm going to spend that money on a case of energy drinks, I might as well get the full size and get all of the caffeine. So I may have to just go without. It's so sad to have to go without, but I guess we're adults and you do what you got to do. So anyway, thanks for watching.